Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So I'm doing a twin flame / soulmate reading, and I explained in my last twin flame soulmate video that I'm only doing these readings when I feel guided to do them. I don't want to do them too often because I don't want anyone to become too dependent on these readings or become too fixated on them, because when we have a twin flame or we have a divine counterpart, it's for the growth of our own souls. Like, it's for our own soul growth and evolution. So if we become fixated too much on these readings and on the other person, it can hinder our growth. So just try to use these readings as a tool for clarity, because it's hard to move on, or it's hard to focus on your mission sometimes, or focus on your own growth when you're confused. So use these readings as clarity, but just try your best not to become too dependent on them. And I'll also be doing an extended video, so I'll leave the link to that extended video in the description box down below. All right, let's jump into it. The top row will be the divine feminines, which are you, your energy, and then the bottom row would be your soulmate or twin flames energy, the divine masculine. But honestly, the energies can go vice versa, so just listen out for the description of each, and you can kind of figure out which one is you. But I'm reading the top row as you, just for the sake of not being confusing. So at the top of the deck, we have the Six of Rods. The Six of Rods talks about spiritual success, or just success in general. I'm thinking that what I'm hearing is that some of you had a spiritual victory, and it looks like your counterpart had more of a physical victory. So they could have overcome something in the physical sense, and you overcame something in the spiritual sense, if that makes sense. Like, you could have overcome some type of difficult, emotional, spiritual challenge, and they could have overcome some type of challenge that was in the physical. So for example, maybe they fell on hard times and they were short on money, and they were able to overcome that, you know. And then maybe you were battling with things emotionally, triggers, woundings, and things of that sort, and you're seeing success with that. And I feel like what I'm hearing is that those energies are about to switch as well, meaning that now you're about to move into a space where you are the one who has physical success, and then they are the ones who have spiritual success. So it's about to be flipped. Hold on, let me write that down. Because usually when I do these readings, after I turn the camera off, I can't remember anything that I said at all. So then I have to go back and read and watch the full reading so I can remember what happened, so I can come up with a title. So I'm just writing it as I go along, just so I can remember. But yeah, it looks like it's about to be flipped here. You're about to have some sort of spiritual success. So physical success. So if you have been working towards something physically, like in the physical world, career or school or just something physical, I'm hearing working out for some of you, like wanting to exercise, like physical, tangible goals. You're about to be successful in that sense. And they're about to now go through something that's going to test them emotionally. And they too will come out the other side of that. So that's very positive, very exciting energy here. With you at the top row, your first card is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. Well, that's how I'm reading this energy anyway. It's like being able to look back on a situation and see the good in it. So some of you are kind of reminiscing. You could be getting to the point where you're no longer holding a lot of animosity towards your counterpart, towards your twin flame or soulmate. At one point in time, I'm feeling like a lot of you were holding a grudge, or that you were very angry and upset with them, to the point where whenever you thought back to them or you thought about them, all you could really think about was the negativity that was associated with them. And from what I'm hearing, some of you didn't like that. You really didn't want to hold any grudge. Like, you weren't doing it purposely. You wanted to move forward, but it was difficult for you to get rid of that energy of resentment. But some of you are definitely moving out of it, because it looks like you're moving into a space where you can think back on the past with this person, and you actually can remember some of the good times. You can remember some of their traits and kind of cherish the time that you had together. So it's a very beautiful energy. That's a telltale sign that you are getting over the pain, when you can think back on a situation and you can see the good in it, and you can kind of smile and laugh about it, about certain things. Then that's a good sign that you have moved past it. It's funny because I dealt with someone years ago. This is not my twin flame or soulmate. Well, it could have been a soulmate, but this is someone I dealt with years ago, and I was like destroyed by them emotionally. Very, very abusive relationship. And they just contacted me recently, and me and my sister were talking about that person, and we were like just laughing the whole time. And it felt really good, because it just felt like the fact that I can sit here and laugh about this, that's how you know I really have transmuted and overcame that energy. So I think that's what's going on with a lot of you. Like, you're going to be able to kind of think back and smile, or think back to the situation without being triggered. So that's very positive. The Eight of Pentacles is here in the reverse as well. So it looks like some of you are feeling a bit stagnant, because the Eight of Pentacles in reverse is about a standstill, possibly when it comes to something that you know you're supposed to be working on. Like, you know you are supposed to be putting your energy and focus onto something, and it looks like you are stuck. I should probably clarify that. Yeah, I'm going to clarify that. Yeah, it looks like you're stuck. Oh, okay. I'm hearing making the conscious decision not to put any more energy and effort. Got it. Because first I was thinking like, okay, is this something you're supposed to be working on, but you're not? But I just heard, no, it's not that. It's that they're making the conscious decision not to work on it. But I'm still going to clarify just to see what comes through here. Yeah, okay. All right, so, oops. I'm reading this as two different things, because it's I'll just show you it and then put it back in the deck. The Great Fortune card in reverse. So I'm reading this as two different things. I'm reading this as some of you are not any longer putting your energy and effort into things that are doing nothing but draining you, things that are causing you misfortune. And if you have been experiencing a lot of misfortune in your life, like perhaps you've been losing money, or it's like if you've been experiencing just something in your physical world where things are not panning out right, it's because there's energy being put into something that is not for your higher good. So you're manifesting difficult experiences. And I'm getting that it has something to do with finances, it feels like. So if you keep having financial setbacks or something like that, it's because you're putting energy into something that is not for your highest good and not for your highest purpose. And I think that a lot of you realize that, and you are now making the conscious decision not to put your energy into these things. So that's a good thing. Three of Rods is here in the reverse. So the Three of Rods in the upright talks about having a plan, not really seeing how things are going to pan out, but having faith that things are going to work out. And it looks like it's the opposite energy of that for some of you. Like, you don't believe that things are going to work out for the good. You could be very paranoid is what I'm hearing. And when I say paranoid, I mean when you think about the future, you can kind of think about everything that could go wrong. And that's actually causing you to have some sort of like stagnancy. It's like analysis paralysis. You're overthinking all the things that could go wrong. Or it's like before you can make a move, you're wanting to know exactly what's going to happen. Like, I'm not going to move until I see exactly how this is going to pan out. And that energy is definitely keeping you stuck somewhere that you could have been moved away from, is what I'm hearing. So I think that this Eight of Pentacles and this Three of Rods go together in the sense that some of you just really don't want to move forward into the unknown. Like, it has to be known before you can move forward. So for example, you could be like watching a lot of tarot readings because you just want to know what's going to happen. Like, I don't want to make any decisions until this reader tells me what's going to happen. But the thing about that is that no one can really predict your future because you're constantly creating your future. So we can predict what might happen or a possible outcome, but only you can truly know your future because you are the one that's in control of it and you are the one that's kind of shaping it. Of course, there are events that goes on in our lives that we can't really control, but for the most part, we have control over our journeys. So it looks like instead of kind of being stuck because you don't know exactly what's going to happen next, think of it as you are the one who is creating what's going to happen next. So you have to consciously decide what's going to happen next on your journey and then go towards it. I really think this has something to do with finances or something physical, like in the physical world, because like I said, I think a lot of you are about to have some sort of victory in the physical and your counterpart is about to have some sort of emotional victory. So moving on to their energy, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about deceit. Okay, if you watch these readings, like go watch like maybe the last 4 twin flame soulmate readings, and I promise this Seven of Swords has come up in 3/4 of the readings. Like I was just rewatching all of the twin flame soulmate readings the other day, and I was like, wow, this Seven of Swords has come up in a lot of readings on their end. So the Seven of Swords is about deception. It's about wearing a mask and not really wanting to face your true self. And we all wear a mask to some extent. We all have a part of us that we show to the world, and then we are different when we are alone or with our loved ones. So we all do that to an extent, but some people have it more extreme. So people who have a lot of toxic shame and they're really ashamed of who they are deep down inside, like they're very broken, they are the ones who wear the biggest masks, because obviously they don't want to see that. They don't want people to see that shameful individual that's, you know, beneath the mask. And I think that your counterpart really struggles with that, like really badly is what I'm hearing. They are a deeply shameful person, and it's like they have buried that shame so deep that they don't even realize that it's there anymore. Like they've been wearing this mask for so long, they don't even know that this mask isn't them, is what I'm hearing, which is quite unfortunate. I'm gonna pull one more. Something's trying to come through here, a message. It's something that, was it a video I was watching or it's something I was reading where it had to be a video, and it was a spiritual video. I just don't remember who the person is, but it was a video I was watching where they were saying something about wearing a mask, and they were saying that when someone wears it for too long, it's kind of like you painting a picture, like just picture you painting a picture of someone, and then you forget that you're the artist and you start to think that you're the actual painting. Like you get caught up in the character of what you created, but it's not really you. So if you sat down and like drew a picture of someone, imagine if something happened where you forgot that you were you and you thought that you were actually the picture that you drew. I really hope that makes sense. So it's like this person has created this ego, this mask, to hide their shame, and they've forgotten who they are. Okay, wow. Has the camera been like that the whole entire time? Oh my God. All right, hold on. Let me fix this. But yeah, it's actually quite sad when you think about it, because like I said, who they are truly as a person is buried very deeply because they are so ashamed of who they are as a person. I really hope the camera wasn't like this whole time. Oh my God. Didn't even notice. But yeah, they're so deeply ashamed of who they are as a person. It's like they wouldn't dare take this mask off, or they don't want to face their emotions. So that's why a lot of them have run from your emotions and run from the connection, because you threaten that mask. Let me write this down. You threaten that mask, and you can imagine if that mask falls off, it's going to be like a very shame-filled, broken inner child that'll be beneath it. So they're trying to protect themselves by wearing this mask. The High Priestess card is also here. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that some of them are stepping onto a spiritual path. Some of them are diving more into the spiritual aspect of life. Before, they were very material driven. They were focused on worldly things, and you could have been the person that sparked their interest in, you know, spiritual matters. And it looks like they're getting introduced to it more and more. The universe is sending them a lot of signs and synchronicities that weren't there before. They're just noticing it a lot, like repeating numbers on the clock, things of that sort. Like they are really seeing things that makes it impossible to question the existence of the spiritual realm and to question the spiritual journey. And again, some of you could have been telling them about this journey and they probably weren't interested, or they kind of didn't understand it, or they just thought it was, you know, a bunch of bullshit. They were skeptical, put it that way. And it looks like now they can't deny that it is taking place. And I think they're keeping this a secret is what I'm hearing. Like they're not going to tell you, like they're not going to reach out and be like, hey, remember what you told me about repeating numbers? I'm seeing it now. Like they're not going to do that. They're really keeping it to themselves, and they're pondering it very closely, because it's kind of like they're in disbelief that something like this could be happening to them. Like these spiritual occurrences, it's like they're very shocked by it, is what I'm seeing. The Page of Cups is here in the reverse as well. So the Page of Cups goes right along with the Seven of Swords. When I was talking about that shame-filled inner core that they have, that's coming up as the Page of Cups in reverse, like not knowing how to handle their emotions in a mature way. Some people think that when you say that someone's emotionally immature, it means that they're explosive, or they throw tantrums, or they're childish and things like that. But really, it can go both ways. Emotionally immature could also mean someone who doesn't know how to express their feelings in the right way, who doesn't know how to cope with feelings in the right way, who kind of just suppresses them, tries to use escape tactics to deal with their feelings, like smoking or drinking and things of that sort. So they're very emotionally immature. is what I'm seeing. I just really think that the universe is about to step in and shake something up in their lives in order for them to have this spiritual awakening and in order for them to step more onto their spiritual path. Like I said in the beginning, the roles are reversing. You are about to step more into the material world. They are about to be more in their emotions. Don't be surprised if they start chasing you. I'm not saying that that's a guarantee, nor am I saying that you should wait around for that to happen, but just don't be shocked by it, because it looks like the roles are about to reverse. And for a lot of you, that's going to involve you genuinely feeling like you want nothing to do with them, and then boom, they pop up out of nowhere. So then obviously you have to use your discernment when it comes to that. But from what I'm getting, that will happen with some of you who are genuinely like done with this person. So I don't know how many of I don't know how many of you resonate with that, but it's a possibility. But overall, it looks like there is going to be victory on both ends here. I do feel like an ending, a major ending is coming. And I know a lot of tarot readers say this, oh, the shift is coming, a major change. But no, I feel it really, really strongly for this one, because a lot of you have been on this journey for a very, very long time. Even if it hasn't been years and years, like the span of time that you've been on this journey, it seems like forever. So it's about time that something shifts and something changes. Like some of you are just graduating. And I have been getting intuitive downloads that there's a new wave of twin flames and divine counterparts that are coming in. So there are people who are going to be stepping onto the twin flame journey. Like, just think back to when you first discovered this journey. There are some people coming in now that are just going to be awakening to this journey and stepping onto their path. So it's kind of like you are the graduate. You have already been through it, and there's about to be a new wave that's coming. It's going to be very interesting. But yeah, things are definitely about to shift in a major way. So I'm going to extend this on my Vimeo channel. I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you over on Vimeo. Bye.